Hello, and thank you for taking the time to look at this quick recording. I put this together just because I wanted to show you how quick and simple RT reporting is in terms of building out forecasts, providing advisory insights, and doing goal setting with any of your clients. And yeah, I guess at the end of the day, the tool is all just about allowing you, the accountant, to have more value add conversations with your clients, produce some really interesting insights for them, but doing it in a way that's very quick, incredibly user friendly, and visual, and most importantly as well, in a way, is it's quite cost effective compared to the older apps within the ecosystem. Our tool's a lot more affordable as well. So when you log into RT reporting, you land on the organization's dashboard. To connect an entity, you just hover over here and connect and pull across the relevant organizations you'd like to work on. And this is really one of the first key advantages of our tool, is that the data automatically syncs with Zero every single night. The chart of accounts is all automatically set up, so there's no or very minimal mapping of the accounts required. Where what we've heard on the other apps, it's quite an exhaustive process just to get started. So this is very rapid and very quick in terms of syncing in the data, getting the chart of accounts set up, GST rate, the frequency, the company tax, superannuation, everything like that. Um, the first place I wanted to take you to is basically you'd hover over the entity you'd like to work on. We've got this goal setting feature here. It's quite a unique feature, and a lot of our early adopters say that they like this to use as an initial conversation with their small business clients to show them at a high level how they can improve their business, and start driving the conversation towards the value that you can bring, the insights, as well as the advisory type services. So it's a 10-minute run through that you'd have with a client where you're asking them what their goals are with the business, what the desired profit is that they'd like to be making. The current situation automatically gets brought in from Zero. And then you can very simply show that client, like, look, this is what a 2% improvement could do for your business, resulting in an additional 90K of profits just by adjusting these key profitability drivers. You can adjust these individually as well. And it really helps that client, understand quite simplistically how they can improve their business, and it gets the conversation growing in terms of what's next. So there's a list of recommendations here that are pre-filled. You can type in your own tips for each client as well that you run through this with, and then you have an action list here in terms of who's going to be responsible for doing what task before the next meeting. And this is a great way to set up some accountability as well as some opportunities for pieces of work that may come out of these discussions. Perhaps it's you going away building a budget for a client, or perhaps they're going to be going away and doing some certain tasks. The other cool thing is that we have an option here which picks up, at a more holistic level, like for that client, what are their current leads that they're getting for their business, and what's the current conversion ratio of those leads? How many existing clients do they have? The retention rate of those clients, the average spend, the frequency of purchase, and being able to tweak those drivers by a few percentage points and showing them how they can make improvements to set up the conversation. Once again, there's a list of recommendations here as well. But the idea with the tool is the goals is the great starting point. Then from here, RT reporting is a centralized advisory solution. So you can rapidly build out a forecast for that client. So if you just click on the forecast button here, you have two options. You can do a rapid create, which will take the last 12 months of historicals projected out for the year ahead, or a tailored create, allowing you to customize the date range, the length, and things like that. So what people love is just from the organization's dashboard, just two clicks of the button, and you've got a really great starting point with the rapid create. The chart of accounts is all automatically set up. There was no mapping required. You can key your assumptions directly into the cell. You can type basic formulas in here as well. So it's very user friendly. Um, you can hover over and see the original value as well, just to let you know where you're on, which cells you've adjusted. Few features, I won't go through everything, but you can toggle off and on accounts. You can go into the settings cog, where what you'll see here is that the GST and the configuration for this account's all automatically set up, whether it's subject to GST, superannuation calculation. You can spread the payment profile, and payable and receivable days you can adjust. The relational input allows you to make certain accounts a percentage of others. So maybe advertising 20% of sales and things like that. And the rapid input is probably the most straightforward option where you can just key in fixed amounts for the year ahead on this account or percentage increases, fixed amount increases, whatever it may be. And we're also including unit-based forecasting in here as well to make it really good for some of your clients in those industries. Um, the other thing with the balance sheet, so obviously you can add in like loans, hire purchases, and what we're rolling out really soon is some wizards here in the top right-hand corner around things like loan calculator scenario, wages scenario for hiring of employees, the flow-on effect that has with obviously like a KiwiSaver and PAYG, um, asset purchase scenarios and things like that. So you're going to see them available really soon. You can do all those things right now, albeit within the chart of accounts here, a bit of a manual process, but that will automate that for you. And yeah, so you basically make all of your assumptions and scenarios within the assumptions tab. You can export to Excel, you can export to PDF as well. So people are really loving the tool in terms of how quick and easy it is to use. But if you need to get more granular, you can export everything into Excel, including any notes you've made, the historicals, everything like that. Um, Going back to the insights dashboard, it's all delivered in a very simple format. We don't want to overwhelm the client. So the idea is like they set the goals, you build the forecast, then each month you can go through how they're tracking with their financial KPIs, take a look at their financials that you can customize. Um, the budget to actuals, allowing them to track how they're progressing throughout the year in a visual way, as well as being able to analyze the numbers, do comparisons throughout the year on each perspective of how they're tracking against the budget. We already touched on the goals. The forecast is a really popular option if you were looking at two different scenarios for a client. So maybe they're taking on a loan, maybe they're not. You can then assess against one another the two different forecasts and see which one is the best way forward on a revenue perspective, bank account perspective, everything. And the cool thing is that this tool has populated all of this for you. So you can spin up these insights and have more valuable conversations with your clients, but it's not going to take you, so much time to set all these things up. And yeah, that was a quick run through. I'd love to have a demo with you if you did have time to take a look at this and understand what your specific needs are a little bit more. We're further enhancing the tool. We're rolling out more and more features, so we're always open to ideas and any feedback that you have. Um, and the last thing is the tool is a lot more affordable than your other tools like Spotlight and Futurely and things like that. It's a lot more easier to use and it's a lot faster as well. So I wanted to put together this video for you. Now it's been dragging on a little bit, but feel free to shoot me back an email if you would like to have a call. If you would like to have a trial, you're more than welcome. And I hope to hear from you soon. Thanks a lot.